All right, hey everyone, Jeff here at StopThePirates.blogspot.com. It's 3/14/2020, and I've just been doing a little research on not a lot, but I'm trying to find this information about how the post office is going to play into all this. And there was a pretty good precedent set um, with the Hurricane Katrina disaster. I just pulled up this PDF, but when I said the post office is they're like military posts for the federal government, and they're going to be used in times of emergency to keep the communication lines open in case everything goes down, which it did during Hurricane Katrina. Um, just a couple of where was this I was looking at? It says here the Postal Service responded creatively to the challenge of locating displaced people in order to deliver mail, medicine, and government assistance checks. A few days after the storm passed, the Postal Service established zip codes for Houston Astrodome, where over 11,000 displaced people were housed. Now, you'll notice that they're shutting down all the bread and circuses and all the NBA and baseball and football. I'm sure if we get to that point. Um, and what I think the reason they're doing this is these sports stadiums are going to be used as quarantine centers. And they're already set up like like prisons. I mean, I live by the Angel Stadium in Anaheim, and they got like 12-foot fences around that sucker. Giant parking lots, where you can uh, muster all your equipment and everything, and orderly set up the military checkpoints and get everybody in there and housed, and then you all be sick, and then people just slowly start disappearing and dying. I mean, it's fucked up. By the postal service, everything's being shut down, and now they're talking about closing bars and restaurants. And personally, I think the whole uh, virus thing is a hoax because I don't see anybody that's sick. I don't see anybody flopping around the ground, bleeding from their eyes. You know, I don't see ambulances running to and fro everywhere with sick people. Uh, I just cruised the hospital. It didn't look any busier than normal. Um, See, but the sheep get spooked very easy, and they know how to do that. They know how to yank that chain and make you act. So everybody's up at the store buying everything off the shelves, and I was up there yesterday, and people are buying like potato chips and pasta. I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do with pasta? Here I am loading up on tuna fish and frozen hamburgers and frozen chicken, and freezer's completely stuffed. But I'm not worried about getting a virus. But there's people now that it's the placebo effect. They'll get sick just by osmosis. But it was funny. There was a Utah Jazz game, NBA game, and right in the middle of the game, they just shut everything down, told everybody to leave. I mean, talk about the psyop right there. And because one of our players is sick, has to be tested positive. Well, how the fuck are these guys getting tested? And nobody else can get a test. Not that I want one, but that's kind of their psyop there too. Is there's not enough tests. And people are back east. People are waiting 4 hours in one of these drive-through things to get tested. People want it, man. They want it bad. But here's what's going to happen. I mean, you're going to have to go. People are going to stop getting paid, and they're going to run out of money to buy all the shit at the store in a week or two. Most people don't have $400 for an emergency. They know that. And then what's scary to me is you're going to start seeing roving bands of criminals just going into stores and just taking what they want. I mean, already it's a fucking shoplifter's wet dream because there's so many people in there. You can't. I seen them in there yesterday too. I mean, you can just tell a shoplifter. Big old jackets on and everything. So the sports stadiums will be designated just like in Katrina. They moved everybody to that stadium in Texas. Put them all on buses. Only after they shot a bunch of them on the when they were trying to leave and disarmed everybody. That'll be next. They'll come around and take all your weapons. There will be no weapons allowed. Remember the famous footage of the little old lady? She's like in a high and dry house, and they just busted down the door, and she had a little 22. You know, it was like, and the cop just fucking grabs her and slams her on the ground. This little old lady, and just like, ah, she's got a gun, 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 gun. Take it. So that's it. I mean, they couldn't disarm us with their, their fake shootings, their false flag shootings. So now they're just going to do this fake. I don't know. I mean, the whole economy is going to just crash. And out of that, from the ashes, is going to be the new Petro or the new, not Petro, but what was the one from years ago? Monero? I don't remember. And Monero is a cryptocurrency. I mean, what they should have is just like a giant bus just going through neighborhoods, going the sick bus, come get tested, and then put them all on a bus and drive them the fuck out of here. Put them in a big pen out in the desert because they're so fucking stupid. And they're just going to treat you to death. I mean, who knows? They say you can up to 30 days now without having any symptoms, but you could be spreading it. Oh, yeah, that's convenient, isn't it? So you go through one of the drive-through things. They contact you a couple of days later. Yeah, it looks like you got it. We need you to come on down to the stadium here and check in. Just make sure we'll give you some treatment. And that's the last time anybody will ever hear from you. And you will have to. I don't know who told me this, but you will have to go to the post office to get your assistance. Everybody's going to run out of money soon, and the next thing you're going to see is a run on the bank. So if you don't have all your cash out of the bank right now, good luck. And maybe the whole internet will go down too. I mean, I wouldn't see them not doing that. I mean, I'm talking worst case scenario here. The Postal Service made emergency purchases to ensure deliveries to an estimated 700,000 customers. The Postal Service bought supplies and services, carrier casing equipment, post office box modules, locks, cluster box units, satellites, cell phones, carrier route vehicles, change of address kits, lighting, and fuel and generators for vehicles, and also rented heavy-duty vehicles, existing partnerships with freight carriers, blah, 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 blah. Restoring commerce. Once you run out of money and you need assistance, you'll have to go to the post office. I'm just guessing this is what I heard a long time ago. And they will issue you a card, like a debit card, with a certain amount of credits on there. But the credits will evaporate after a week. So you have to spend it all, and that will keep the economy, I guess, somewhat going. And then the next week you'll have to go when it's your turn to stand in line, get your temperature taken. And if you're sick, they'll put you right there. I mean, all the post office offices, the major ones, have already been hardened. There's jail cells in them and everything. But here's my point too: is that when you run out of money, you're going to need to do something. You have a mortgage, you have a car payment, you have all these bills. Um, don't ever, and I don't think the foreclosures and shit are going to stop. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because the police have kind of retreated now in my area. I don't see them out anymore. And then if you call them, they'll do like a pre-screening, make sure nobody's sick at the, they're not coming to car accidents. I don't know. I mean, just. I feel like this is a worldwide global deal. I mean, everybody's in on it. All the main players, the G7, G10, whatever they are. The WTO. But you're going to want to know your commercial remedies in this time of a situation. Things that you can do to mitigate the damage. Just your commercial remedies. One thing you don't want to do is just not do anything in these situations. Once you start getting late bills and foreclosure statements and all these things, you have to act. And except for value might be one alternative in these times of turmoil. You can do set-offs and discharges. Follow UCC1 financing statement and addendum. I'll just leave a link down below. Just go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. But, yeah, things are going to get hairy. Talk to you later.